The referee, Mr. Terry O'Connor, will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
Lads, I suppose get in the changing room, protect yourself at all times. When I say break on this straight away, shake hands, best of to both.
12 3-minute rounds for the IBO Super Flyweight Championship.
Well, isn't it great that two of our best boxers at this kind of weight are meeting each other? We need more of this kind of thing to ignite the public's imagination, so this ought to be really good. We've been waiting for this since 1999. That was when these two were first supposed to meet. Kelly from Belfast in the green and white trunks, the blue of Jason Booth from Nottingham. Who will prevail here? Booth currently holding this IBO title, which is on the line here tonight. It's his second defense of this title. In the first, he had that excellent win over Dale Robinson in a close fight, which he probably won with a late knockdown to edge it on the cards. Kelly not too quick to establish his jab, which is usually his staple weapon, the right-hand counter coming back that time from Booth.
Yep, seen a couple of nice counters already from Booth. The left hook and then the right hand, just missed with the left again there. He seems quite happy in the first round here to allow Kelly to come forward.
This division, by the way, officially doesn't exist in Europe. Super flyweight. We have flyweight and then bantamweight, but it's handy for these two a comfortable weight in between at 8 stone 3. Kelly, who went in with one of the very, very best men in the world at flyweight, Irene Pacheco in Colombia. He was blown away in that fight, to be perfectly honest with you, on the floor 3 times and stopped. But that really was going in very, very deep away from home. He's still a top operator.
There's nothing much in the difference in reach, but Booth seems to step ahead with his jab, extends it, whereas Kelly likes to step right in with these punches. I think that's the reason maybe so many clashes of heads take place and Kelly finds himself cut. But Booth has settled well.
Looking for counter punches all the time. Jason Booth done it quite well so far as well. Kelly not really getting his shots off early on. Good hand speed again from Jason Booth, who's been around the block and really knows what it's about at this kind of level. There's that Kelly jab. He's come back well from the Pacheco defeat, but this will be the first real big test since then.
Well, Kelly obviously keen being the challenger to make an early impression, but hasn't really done that. A nice, cool, controlled opening round from the champion so far.
Yet to really establish his jab, Damaen Kelly, and he usually works everything off that. These two will know each other well and respect each other as well too.
Booth beginning to stand his ground, not be pushed back, still trying to counter.
Maybe Booth just edged that. Close opening round. Jason Booth, my colleague Adam Smith was asking him backstage earlier on, was he looking forward to tonight? He said, you must be joking. Fighting Damaen Kelly, it's going to be really hard.
Well, he said it well. I think we saw a little bit of mutual respect in the opening round there, but it's shaping up as good as we hoped it would be.
Second round. Booth's record, by the way, going into this wins 25, losses 3, all in European title fights, and unlucky to some extent on each occasion. Kelly, 20 wins, 2 defeats, 1 on cuts to Keith Knox, the other one I was telling you about against Irene Pacheco of Colombia. Good right hand again on the counter from Booth, who's in the blue trunks here. A few supporters, by the way, have come over from Belfast to support Kelly tonight here in Huddersfield. Long and difficult trip that at this time of year, so close to Christmas as well, so they must be real die-hard fans of the Belfast man.
Nice right hand lead from Kelly there. See, Kelly's trying to take the initiative, but he's doing it with single punches. That's the reason it's not working. He's been countered. I think he's going to have to throw 2 and 3 punches at a time.
Just looking to double up with that jab. Kelly, there it is, once, twice into the face of Booth. Kelly has to be careful himself. He's been cut quite a few times. Nice left hook from Booth, who's prepared well for this fight with Jason Shinfield. Is, forgive me for saying, possibly slightly unfashionable Midlands trainer, but always does a solid job.
And Kelly's very good on his feet, using the ring, moving around the ring, but sometimes there's not enough head movement, which can be a problem, and he's been pinned a couple of times already with right hand leads and left hooks.
Good jabbing. He's starting to get the jab going now, Kelly, and it's a great jab if he can find a rhythm with that. Booth will try everything he knows to prevent that happening in the fight, because once he starts developing that rhythm, he can be difficult to stop. Kelly buzzes away, lateral movement, throws out the jab, and then starts working other punches off it.
Well, Booth realising that the counter-punching not working quite so well in this round, he's trying to lead off a bit more.
Rat-a-tat with that jab again from Kelly, and a right hand to follow. Better here from the man from Northern Ireland, and a right hand through the middle too, which Booth does not manage to slip. He'll need some head movement, maybe to slip a few of these jabs, otherwise his face could end up a bit of a mess.
See, the fact that Kelly's doubling with the punches now, the single punches in the first round not working, he's come up with something else.
This time a jab to the body from Kelly, who was a really top-class amateur, including a world bronze medal among a trophy cabinet laden with various cups and medals.
A good solid look about Kelly's work in this round. Another fairly close round, but I like Kelly in that one.
I thought he won it big, actually, Jim.
All the combination shots.
Welcome back. There's Damaen Kelly, one of many great men at the little weights that they've had from Northern Ireland. Looking back to Rinty Monaghan and Johnny Caldwell, Freddie Gilroy, Dave Boy McCauley, fighters like that. Of course, going up a little in weight, our own Barry McGuigan. Green and white trunks, Damaen Kelly, who, unlike Rinty Monaghan, does not serenade the crowd with music after his victories. Not yet, anyway. Booth did okay in the opening round, but worryingly for him, he's starting to eat this jab, Jim.
Yeah, the problem is he's the one who's been forced to change his tactics. Well, that was almost a little knockdown there.
Yeah, he's dipped his knees with the right hand. Don't know if that was a balance thing or there really was a bit of a dig in that from Booth.
Come back with a good right hand himself. I think he shook Booth up a little bit there. So they both have the power to trouble each other.
Dodging this way and that, trying not to let Booth get set. Fascinating battle of wits and strategies going on in there as well.
Yeah, Booth's putting the pedal down, but finding it difficult to pin Kelly down.
Might be one of those fights where the plot twists this way and that as it goes along. Because these are two pretty good thinking fighters who know what they're doing in there.
Still a nice, tight, compact look about Kelly's work.
Yeah, sometimes now you see him, now you don't. He flashes in a shot, then he's away again. Just for the moment, ever so slightly outboxing Booth.
Yeah, Booth is the one. This is not what he had planned. He's had to change his plans, and he's becoming a little bit ragged here.
Some of the right over the top. There was a left hook before that as well to give Booth a little bit of hope, and he's a way of prevailing in these domestic matches. He's had some good wins along the way, and there's a left hand on the counter from Booth. Two British and one American judge scoring this fight. Roy Francis and Paul Thomas. And from Detroit, Jim Boomian.
At times, Booth just becoming a little bit ragged, little signs of desperation. He's had trouble pinning Kelly down.
Michael Hawkins doing the talking with Damian Kelly. They've been together for donkey's years, those two. Now, what he was saying in the corner there, when you saw that, his knees dipped. He said he caught me with my feet together. Explain, Jim.
Yeah, well, they caught him high in the forehead. They caught him square-footed. So normally you have a foot behind you to take the force of a punch. I mean, he wasn't hurt, but if he had touched down, it would have been a knockdown.
Thank you. Fourth round. Jim Watt, the former world lightweight champion, with me tonight here at ringside in Huddersfield. Green and white trunks of Damian Kelly, who's challenging for Booth's IBO title here. But more than that, it's just a very, very good domestic matchup, one we've been waiting for. Good right hand, this time counter shot from Kelly.
See, Kelly is always in a position to come back with counters. Nice tight defence, his chin's down where it should be. Sometimes it's been too often a little bit high. He's nice controlled look about what he's doing here.
Jason Booth is not the kind of fighter you'd write off in any fight. Came back against Dale Robinson in what was a good class domestic matchup earlier on this year. Who's to say he won't do it again? He's just falling behind a little bit at the moment here, though.
See, I think Booth's problems, I think he's trying to wind up for heavy shots as opposed to just trying to find target. Just trying to cope with Kelly's boxing. He's trying to hurt him. That's a good right hand to get through with. He's winding his punches up a little bit too much for me.
Just hung around a bit too long in the zone that time, and Kelly got caught by a right over the top. An accidental clash of heads, and there's a cut. And that's very good refereeing for me from Terry O'Connor, just making everybody clear of what's gone on and that it was an accidental cut. Standardized rule these days is that after 4 completed rounds, they will go to the scorecards in that event if it was an accidental cut. Should the cut stop the fight, of course, Jim, sorry.
Yep, thankfully it doesn't look a bad cut at this stage. Hopefully it won't worsen. But Kelly's been cut before, so it won't affect his tactics. He'll just accept it and get on with the job.
An encouraging development for Booth here is that he's starting to land with some good right hands. Kelly's got the cut as well. He's just tapped away at that for a moment. This is the kind of guy to use the old cliche that cuts at press conferences. Starting to just parry and block some of the jabs as well too, Booth now. This is getting fascinating.
I still think he's winding his own punches up a little bit too much. He wants to let them flow a bit more. Find the target for a round or so, then think about the power.
And there's that cut, which, just hang on a minute, a closer look reveals that's a bit more of a problem we maybe thought. Benny King's the cut, man.
It's no problem. Okay.
They're trying to reassure him. They say it's no problem. Is it, Jim?
It's a fair length. It doesn't look deep, thankfully. That's the reason it hasn't bled so much. But it's the last thing you need, obviously, this earlier in a fight. But he's had to cope with it before. But he still kept his wits about him. He's still nice and tight. That was a closer round, I thought. That's him just complaining about the little clash there.
Hands are coming in. You make sure they're in.
See, it's a long cut. but thankfully not deep.
Okay, get out there and get up on your toes and you box. See when the
As
right
a
hand's
fighter,
up,
how
go,
worried
get
are
out,
you if you get cut? Is it just part of the trade? Some fighters seem to worry about it more than others.
Yeah, but it's a pity, but if your corner can settle you down, and especially if they can stop the bleeding, if you feel the blood pouring down the side of your face, it causes you to panic. But they've stopped the bleeding, which is the main thing.
Now round 5. Green and white, remember. Michael Hawkins in the corner for Damaen Kelly, telling him to get on his toes and box. Not hang around in front of Booth. Booth would like that if he did that. Haven't really seen much of the body punching tactic, have we, yet from Booth?
No, but they were saying beforehand that that would be his plan, to work the body, but it's difficult to pin Kelly down. So what you have planned beforehand, you can't always carry that out.
He's a real little will-o'-the-wisp operator, isn't he, this Damaen Kelly? I've always enjoyed watching him right the way through his career. Fascinating to watch. He's an artiste on canvas, really, at his best. Booth's been a thoroughly good value for money operator as well.
Well, some nice counter punching from Booth here. Kelly's committing himself but not finding the target.
Because some judges don't like it when fighters try to win a fight just on the jab. And again, that good left hand counter from Jason Booth. He really does know his business.
Yeah, he's picking the counters well again. Kelly still trying to force the action, but not stepping in with his punches this round.
And again, there it is again, that left hand counter from Booth, who looks encouraged by that, starting to move with a bit more fluency as well. Just setting Kelly one or two other problems, not being quite as stationary. A right hand gets through as well from Booth. He's just switched tactics ever so slightly in this round. A bit more mobility about Booth.
Yeah, but he's taking a little half step back, and Kelly's punches are falling short, and he's coming back with the counters. These are good tactics here from Booth.
Pretty well matched, aren't they, these two?
Yeah, this is what we expected. It's a fight we've been talking about for several years now. We thought maybe we'd missed the boat with it, so it's good to see it taking place.
And of course, it's just the start of all the top domestic fighters meeting each other, isn't it, Jim, now?
Well, like to think so.
We'd like to think so. Good double jab. Nicely done that by Kelly. But this has been a fair old round for Booth. He's just re-established himself a little bit more in the fight in this round.
Yep, Kelly not quite so smooth. Getting caught with jabs as well now.
Subtle shift in the plot in the 5th.
Okay.
Here are the two corners. The busier corner, that of Kelly, who's got a cut. Mike and Jason Shinfield, the old father and son team, working there with Jason Booth.
Keep the right hand coming nice.
Did well in that last round. Body punches more from Kelly, head punches, a few more from Kelly as well. Not a lot in it, though, is there? That's what the computer says anyway. Here we go with round 6. Only ever beaten in 3 European title bids, Jason Booth, against 25 wins. And tough fights too. He thought he was robbed against Alexander Mamutov, who incidentally Kelly beat. But that was a debatable one too, by the way. Good right hand over the top from Kelly, who every time he sits down between the rounds is told by Michael Hawkins, his trainer, box, box, box. That's a great right hand. Didn't he pick that well, Jim?
Yeah, but I think he's putting punches together better than the previous round. I think maybe too many single punches, which was allowing Booth to counter. So he realises has to come up with something better.
This time it's Booth who scores with the jab. He loves that left hand lead, doesn't he? Damaen Kelly. I wonder how many he's thrown in his career. We're into several thousand. Oh, that's a great jab back, though, from Booth. And that really rocked back the head of Kelly, didn't it?
And he's just landed a nice right hand just before that jab as well. Booth not really having trouble now finding the target. Kelly neglecting his defence.
Booth doing his best to just edge a little closer. There's a bit of damage around Booth's left eye developing, it seems to me, as well. Oh, and a great right hand over the top from Kelly. This is a high-class fight. Very enjoyable. Thought it would be.
Yeah, well, they're both world rated and the proper world ratings. So, two good little fighters at the same, virtually the same stage of their careers too.
Getting in with a shot and then getting away again. Booth is starting to set his feet and try to let go with some heavier artillery here now. He's after Kelly, who's on the back foot, looking to cut him off along these ropes. Does he feel he's weakened him in some way? Body shots going from Booth.
I think he's trying to intimidate Kelly now. This is a good plan because Kelly was in a nice little rhythm, and Booth's just saying, right here, this is what I've got, I'm about to show you. This is a good plan from Booth here, just taking the initiative away, taking some chances as well, but taking the initiative is working. He's stepping in with these punches now.
He is working, isn't it? He's breaking up Kelly's rhythm. Kelly stopped throwing the jab. He's dodging away this way and that, lateral movement, and now he's talking to him. Booth's talking to him. Don't ask me what he's saying, but he's taunting him a little bit. I'll tell you what, Booth was psychologically the boss in that round. Let's see if Barry McGuigan agrees with that.
I agree entirely. I think that Booth is beginning to pull away. He's looking more comfortable. He's sitting down on his punches. He boxed a little bit in the last round, as Jim was saying. He pulled back, then he stepped on the gas in this round, and he's beginning to take control of the fight. Kelly's looking vulnerable. He's not using the right tactics. He should be using his left jab, keeping on the outside, and it was disturbing to hear Michael Hawkins saying in the corner in the last round that everything was going their way. It's not, and he better get on his bike and start using his jab.
Oh, maybe they should have been piping all that through to the Damian Kelly corner. That's Barry McGuigan telling it like it is.
Exactly, yeah, and we're seeing a kind of macho showing from Jason Booth, which we've seen in the past a couple of times. You just see him gritting his teeth and heading right into battle, and that's what he's done here. He's making a point, and he made it well.
This has got to be close at the halfway stage, I'd say, Jim.
Yeah, well, it's bouncing back between one corner to the next.
This is what the Jim Watt card says so far.
It couldn't be much closer then, could it? 3 apiece.
I've got it by 1 to Booth, going into the 7th.
Have you scored an even round, Ian?
I have, yep, again.
No, that's fair enough, but a couple of the rounds have been very close.
There goes Kelly trying to establish that jab again, but Booth's just not letting him do that. He's prepared long and hard. He knew what he'd be fighting here tonight. There are many, many videos available of Damian Kelly. Good body shot this time from Kelly, who's got this rather nasty cut by the left eye. They're doing their best with that, but it isn't helping him.
Well, I thought beforehand that Kelly would be the physically stronger of the two. I'm not quite so sure now. Booth is using his strength now, trying to back Kelly up.
He's blocking a few on the arms and gloves as well now, Booth. Some of these jabs, and I just wonder if he just might need a bit more than that jab with which to dominate the fight, Damian Kelly. This is a battle for supremacy and a battle royal at the moment between them.
Surprised how many jabs Booth is getting through with. Again, Kelly maybe a bit more head movement required.
He's dabbing away at that cut, which, remember, was caused accidentally, according to the referee. If it causes a stoppage, they will go to the cards.
I think we saw another clash there, and Kelly was the one who complained about it.
That blood's getting a problem by the left eye. There's a damage under the eye as well now, too, and I think now they're going to have a look at it. He's got a great cuts man there in Benny King. But I'm beginning to wonder about that cut. It's starting to get a bit serious, that for him.
Yeah, and a fighter starts worrying when the referee wants to take him back to the corner and have a look at it. With a minute to go in the round, but the referee has to do his job. But it would have been nice if it had been nearer the end of the round and he just have walked over in the break. That worries a fighter when he stopped the action.
I should try boxing in Las Vegas. They seem to have about 3 inspections around. They've got every doctor in Nevada around.
See, at least it's made Kelly grit his teeth a little bit more. But I've liked Booth a little bit better so far in this round.
Looks as if he's relishing it, doesn't he, Booth, at the moment? Just looks the boss in this phase of the fight, with Kelly busted up a bit too.
See, he looks to be having the last word in the exchanges. They both land a couple of punches, but Kelly's the one to back off. I know part of that's because of his injured eye, but it makes Booth look that little bit more the boss.
Booth's looking strong, bullish at the moment. Body language says it too.
Okay.
Oh, look at that eye. Just look at that eye.
It's all right. What do you want to do?
He's really had to struggle with those cuts.
It's just long, but it's not deep.
Give me a water, please.
It's not deep, it's long, says Benny King.
Well, I think it's got a little bit deeper because it didn't bleed like that. That was the other clash of heads. I wonder if that landed in the same injury. No, it was on the other side, thankfully, but it certainly worsened a little bit. I think Benny King's doing the right thing.
You hear me?
Trying to stop him from panic and trying to calm him down, but he's managed to stop the bleeding again.
Hey,
But it's certainly got a little bit worse.
Listen, you give me this one last and 100%. You hear me? You're missing with 3 or 4 shots here. You take this fight home. This is not over, it's over. Right? Get you out here now and you work this, Damian. Get them right hands, but don't miss him this time.
There's a rather more worried feel about that corner now. They were confident a couple of rounds ago. Now, the message is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's been a swing, and you can see that the confidence in Booth's boxing now. He's not worrying too much about the mistakes he makes, the punches he takes. He's just getting on with the job.
Tell you something, Jason Booth wins this. For me, he's one of the domestic fighters of this year, having beaten Dale Robinson as well.
Yep, and both fights a struggle. Well, this one certainly is a struggle.
Booth, the man who had to come back from an iron bar attack in an alleyway in Nottingham. Now, can Kelly get back into this? Can he get that sweet boxing going again? I think he's just finding he's going to need more than just the jab with which to do the job.
See, that's his problem. It's the single jab. It didn't work in the early stages. He changed that. He stepped in with his punches, 2 and 3 punches, but he's gone back to that single jab again.
Is the belief beginning to drain out of Damian Kelly, and for that matter, his corner too?
A little bit dip in Booth's work in this round as well.
Kelly needs another turning of the tide in the fight. We've had one.
Another left hook from Booth. He just seems to have the more authority in his work. Defence is not too bad either.
He did have a bit of a let-off on the day he won this title against Lunga Ontem-Taylor. He was down in the 7th round and the bell sounded with a full minute of the round to go, and that was a lucky break, and he went on to win the fight well. But you need a break like that now and again. I'm sure it was accidental, of
Nice
course.
when it happens, I'm sure it was too.
That's not so bad in this round for Kelly. There's still blood from it, but not so copiously.
This is a tough round to score. No one really has taken charge of both landing. Booth not driving quite the way he was in the previous round.
Kelly's going to have to show some real championship quality, I think, to get through this period in the fight. And he's just shown 1 or 2 signs in this round that he might be clawing his way back a little bit.
Booth looks the heavier hitter, doesn't he? Yeah, well, he's taken command, if you like. He looks as though he's in the driving seat, but didn't dominate that round.
This is what the computer is saying so far. Always a decent guide, or is it? This will help you. 110 to 109 punches landed so far in favour of Booth. Yes, it's that close.
Yeah, well, I'd say it is, because, I mean, a couple of good rounds, but it was obvious who's won the round, but a few of the rounds have been very, very tight. So this really is a close one. Booth didn't drive quite so strongly in this round. In the early part of the round, he scored nicely. Kelly come back into it again. So this is from the middle of the round onwards, Kelly started producing a little bit better.
Kelly, shy, quiet, but very determined man with a lot of self-belief, who doesn't believe in watching videos of his opponents. Here's round 9 of what is an excellent fight here for the IBO's Super Flyweight Championship at 8 stone 3 pounds between these two world-rated operators from these islands.
I think one problem I've had with Kelly's work, there's not been a lot of variety. I mean, he's sticking pretty much with the same plan. Booth is the one who's come up with something else, changed his mind, changed his tactics. So, but will he find the final answer? Because he still hasn't pinned this little fellow down.
Swelling under the right eye, by the way, of Booth, but nothing really to compare with the damage that Kelly sustained. Trying the old jab and move tactics again. Double jab, then he needs to get away again. See if he can pinch the rounds like that, Kelly. Wouldn't be a bad tactic. It's what he's got. Can he make the most of that? Will Booth let him?
Well, he started this round well. See if he can sustain that. See, I've noticed a little drop in the pace in Booth's work. I wonder, will Kelly, will condition and physical strength be what decides this one?
He's just clawing his way back into this again, Kelly. Things were looking pretty bad for him, I thought, a couple of rounds ago. But Booth has let his work rate drop. Expect the unexpected here is what I'd say. No telling how this is going to swing. There's a right-hand counter. Nice shot, wasn't it, from Booth, and the target was that cut eye. Kelly's got an answer to that as well.
See, Kelly is different when he puts punches together. When he uses a single jab, he's been countered out of this. But when he puts them together, 3s and 4s, you can see his quality, giving Booth all sorts of problems here.
Still up for grabs, this one, I'd say. Which is not the biggest score, but it's a close fight.
Well, this is a stage in a championship fight when you can start maybe to feel if someone is really going to take over. And at this stage, I would say Kelly is producing the better work. Definitely a dip in Booth's pace. He's got to come back again, find that second win.
He's got his boxing back together again, Kelly now. Looking more controlled, better movement from him. Quite accurate. And less from Booth. It looks a little bit troubled and spat something out there as he moved across the ring on that far side. I don't know if he's discomforted in some way. Maybe he is.
See, I wonder if the 2 big rounds that he forced out himself has maybe emptied his tank a little bit. Maybe he's just coasting for a round. Maybe he's tumbling. This fight is going the distance and he wants to finish strongly. I don't know, but he's definitely dropped the pace.
It's a nice left hand from Booth, but there's not been enough of that, and Kelly's had the steadier work rate. His round, I think, but let's get an alternative view now from the former European Super Bantamweight champion, Spencer Oliver.
Yeah, another good round there from Damaen Kelly. Booth just seems to have gone to sleep for the last couple of rounds. But I've got him quite in front at the moment. I've got him in 4 points up at the moment. He's the one that's getting off first with his shots. He looks like he's dominating. He's taking the centre of the ring. Damaen Kelly's boxing the wrong fight for me. He's trying to push forward, trying to stamp his authority. He thinks he's punching maybe a little. He should stick to his boxing. He thinks he can punch a little bit better than he really can.
That really was an alternative view. He's got Booth 4 points ahead. I've got it level.
Yeah, but when rounds are close, if you give all the close rounds the same way, then scoring in a boxing match doesn't always reflect the action. I've got it closer than that, obviously, but you see it how you see it. There's been so many close rounds here, you can't argue with anybody's interpretation of it.
Very diplomatic, Jim. 9 minutes to go. Blue trunks of Jason Booth, the green and white of the stylist Damaen Kelly, who has not always been able to impose that style. I think Booth's got to pick it up again, and I'm sure the father and son team, Mike and Jason Shinfield in the corner, have told him that. He's just got to sleep on the job a little bit for a round or two. Will he up the tempo again in this round?
Well, Kelly at the moment looks the stronger. He's keen to come forward again. But the single punches didn't work before, so he shouldn't be throwing them now.
Benny King's done a heck of a good job on that cut. It's less of a problem now. They seem to have got that under control, the Kelly cut by the left eye. The long, thin one. Not deep, said the cut man. He would say that, wouldn't he? He doesn't want Kelly worrying.
Yeah, well, he's got enough on his hands. It's part of the cut man's job just to take that worry away from you. Kelly just taking too long here. He's coming into range but not getting punches off at the moment. Booth stealing things from him just with these little flicking jabs. Not finding the range in this round, Kelly.
Good little left through the middle from Kelly that time. Less accuracy from both fighters in this round. Missing a fair bit. These little men, who are really no bigger than jockeys, often provide some of the classic fights. We've had more world champions at flyweight than at any other weight in the British Isles. A steady supply of them. Perhaps the greatest, Jimmy Wild, 1916 to 23, who never weighed more than 7 stone 4 pounds, incidentally, officially.
Well, Kelly's put a fair bit of work into this round, but he hasn't managed to find the range. And these little flicking jabs, left hook, as we're just seeing, for me, are stealing this round from him. Got to get a little bit closer, get both hands working.
Totally lost his timing in this round, Kelly. Booth just stealing it.
Yep, he hasn't found the range, he hasn't got himself into range. Maybe thinking too much about it, I don't know. And he's also given Booth a fairly easy round pace-wise, and I think that's exactly what Booth was looking for, a little breather.
Looks like swelling by the right eye as well for Kelly. Looks like that's just closing up a bit. His face is a mess. He's used to that kind of thing, though. It's happened a lot to him.
Well, for me, Booth has stopped a rot here. He hasn't had a big round, but he controlled the range better than Kelly, so for me, he's just nicked that one.
Big round.
Yeah, I thought he won it as well, Jim.
Deep breaths first.
Breathe up.
Yeah, just deep breath first. That's a class round, that was. We've got to beat him on the move now, aren't we?
Yeah, good thanks.
Yeah? Keep picking him off, you hit him, smash that jab in his face, then you make him this, yeah?
He's had a traumatic time. I mentioned the attack. There was also, I mean, his brother's been in prison. He's now released. And those two are very, very close. They buzz off each other, don't they?
Yep, they're very close. And I know he was very upset when his brother was out of commission. So
Very close.
thankfully, he's back with us again.
Very close.
Yeah?
He said once, if there was no one else on the planet, me and Nicky would get along just fine. The boxing brothers and the boxing champions. Nicky can't be here tonight, but he'll be watching it somewhere, be sure of that, and living every second. Green and white trunks, remember Kelly, dark blue Booth, if you don't know by now. And what a good fight they put on here. This is the 11th round of it.
Well, we'll find out now if Booth's dropping pace was part of the plan, or if maybe he's tiring a bit. Looks at the moment maybe tiring a bit. Kelly beginning to step in with the shots again.
They both fought in fits and starts a little bit. Both had their periods of ascendancy, and it swung this way and that, and you're never quite sure what's going to happen next. A bit like a good book. Enjoying it, Jim?
Yeah, it was as good as I thought it would be. I'll be honest, I thought maybe Kelly would have started to outbox Booth at this stage, maybe run out a fairly clear winner, but that hasn't happened. So, which means it's been even better than I thought it would be.
Just wonder how the judges are scoring some of these rounds, many of which have been on the close side. Not all. Good right hands. Kelly's got that timing back now.
She's getting that little bit closer. See, it's different altogether when he doubles punches up and steps in with them. Single punches haven't worked. I really feel Booth is the one at the moment who is struggling with the pace, driving himself on as he's done so often in the past, but struggling a little bit.
Good life in the legs of Damaen Kelly. Darting this way and that, spearing home his jab from time to time. Been quite accurate in this round, far less from Booth. Calls himself too smooth at times. Kelly's been even smoother here, especially this round. He is again, gaining in confidence, body shots and away, raiding tactics.
Yeah, this is good work from Kelly. I mean, up against it, obviously, with the injuries. But it really knuckled down to it well in this round.
And he's had this cut since the 4th round, remember. At the very least, it's a considerable nuisance. That's a good left hand. He's dominated this round, Kelly. I said close rounds, this isn't close. One man's outboxing the other at the moment here.
Yeah, well, he's just forcing the work out now. He's obviously feeling the pace as well, but his work looks more controlled. I mean, you can see the wide up arm punches that Booth is throwing back, not looking quite so controlled.
Well, I mentioned championship quality. Damaen Kelly showing a bit of this here, and he nods at Booth. They nodded at each other, mutual respect at the end of the round. It was a Kelly round, we think anyway.
Yeah.
This is what the computer says now. Kelly's landed 10 more, according to our computer whiz kids, of whom there are many sitting at ringside. 12-round schedule. Kelly 10 times and Booth 9. How many times have they had to complete that distance? Kelly on 7 occasions, Booth on 6. So stamina is not going to be a problem for these two.
And again, you can see how closely matched they are. I mean, even the amounts of the distance fights. I've got it all square. It's all on the last round here. Unbelievable little battle. But for me, Kelly is the one who's managing to dig in that little bit deeper. Can he do it in the last round?
I've got it level as well, Jim. I gave Booth the round before, Kelly that last one. So this could decide it. The last 3 minutes, I think both corners will have given a message to that kind of effect, or they ought to have done anyway. I think the fighters, they're so experienced, they kind of know it, wouldn't they, Jim?
They know it's close. Obviously, they don't know it's this close. And also, you're dealing with 3 scorecards here. But their corners have told them it's close. They must know it's close.
Could you score your own fights in running?
No, not a fight as tough as this. The ones where you feel you're in control of things and obviously know you're winning, but nobody can know here. Oh, so many rounds have been so tough and so close.
More of the same from Kelly that we got in the 11th. Booth really needs to pick this up. He might need to gamble a bit.
Booth knows he has to do that, and he's trying to muster that little bit of energy to do it, but he's still a little bit ragged with his work.
There's no doubt about it. Damaen Kelly came through a crisis in this fight in the middle rounds, but he's re-established himself now, and everything is on the line now in this final round of this fascinating domestic dust-up, if that's the right phrase, because they've been good technicians, the pair of them. It's Kelly at the moment who just is finishing the stronger.
Yeah, and he also has the look of a man who's in charge of things. Booth, his work's a little bit disjointed now. He's forcing the work out, but Kelly's so much in control, he looks as though he's winning things.
Pay tribute to both men. They prepared well and they fought very, very well. A good right hand goes in from Kelly, who looks strong and has kept his technique and timing together well over these last 2 rounds, having seemed to lose it in the 10th.
Booth struggling here to stay with him. I think that right hand shook him up a little bit at this stage in the fight. When you're tired, punches obviously have more of an effect. He's a little bit stunned here.
It's been a good one. No real fireworks, not that kind of a fight.
But never a dull moment. Yep, never a dull moment, that's for sure.
The cut worsens again to add to the drama for Damaen Kelly. Just a question of what you liked best in the fight, what the judges liked best. We have a close fight here. We think so anyway.
And Kelly's digging in and just pulling that performance out in the last round.
Kelly's right eye's closing fast as this fight ends. Can hardly see out of it now. And the left eye, the vision obscured by blood, but still he goes about his business. Bit better from Booth over the last minute of the round. Little bit more from him, but will that be enough?
They're both just ignoring the pain here in the closing session. Wonderful battle. For me, that's Kelly 1 point up. Wonder how the judges will see it.
And in 20 years' time, those two will meet at some dinner somewhere and remember that battle that they had all those years ago in Huddersfield. And I bet they'll be the best of mates. Mutual respect between the pair of them after what was an engrossing fight here in the super flyweight division. Has Booth lost his IBO title? Has Kelly prevailed? Only the 3 judges will be able to tell us. For what it's worth, I have Kelly as a 1-point winner of the fight. Kelly landed, according to the computer, 22 more punches and had a slightly better success rate and threw a lot more as it happens. Look at his face at the end of it. Whoa, talk about giving blood in the course.
You know, you can see how tough a battle that was. He obviously marks up worse than Booth does, but then you see my card, 1 point in it to Kelly, all on that last round there. What a wonderful battle, thoroughly enjoyed every minute of that.
And now they've got to collate the scorecards, and let's hope they do it right, even if it takes a bit of time. We don't want them going away again like after that Michael Brody Injun G fight last year and deciding they've got it all wrong. Those are the 3 men who'll decide. Roy Francis, who goes off to Budapest, by the way, tomorrow to referee 2 fights there. He's on the early flight out of Heathrow. He'd better hurry. Jim Humian from Detroit, fight town in the United States. And Paul Thomas, well known to British fight fans, from Derby. It could take a little time. Kelly, who has boxed on a Lennox Lewis World Heavyweight title bill against Željko Mavrovic over in Connecticut in the past. He's been around the business a bit now. Now then, are we ready? Good fight, whoever's won it. Here we go. Mike Goodall will reveal all.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee would like to congratulate both boxers on 12 excellent rounds of boxing. Please, thank you. After 12 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards where we have a unanimous decision. Judge Paul Thomas scores the contest 112 to 116. Judge Roy Francis scores the contest 112-117. Judge Jim Humian scores the contest 109 to 119. All 3 in favour of the winner and the new super flyweight champion of the world, Damaen Kelly.
Kelly wins it, but I'm surprised by those scorecards, Jim. They had it by 5 points, 4 points, and the American judge had it by 10 points,
yeah,
which I just cannot credit.
When you see what Jason Booth put into that battle, 2-3 rounds I wouldn't argue with, but no, for me, that scoring was nonsense, but particularly the American scoring.